When Israelis see Benjamin Netanyahu, the bottom line is they see themselves, an obnoxious, self-righteous Jewish supremacist. That's who the Israelis are. That's who Benjamin Netanyahu is. So this notion that somehow he is the problem, no. If you look at the public opinion surveys, 50% of Israeli Jews say they support genocide in Gaza. It's 50%. They were asked a very direct question. When the Israeli army goes into a city, the question was, when the IDF goes into a city, should it kill everybody in the city? 47% of Israeli Jews said yes. When they were asked in another survey, are there any innocents in Gaza? Remember, half of Gaza's children. Okay? Between 70 and 75% said no innocents in Gaza. That's not Netanyahu. When they were asked about, are you concerned about starvation in Gaza? Over 80% said no.
Why is it so hard to call a spade when it is a spade?
First of all, if you take the case of the United States, 40% of American Jews in the most recent poll say that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza.
What do the remaining 60% say?
I think given the degree of propaganda to which Jews are subjected to from a very young age about Israel, I think 40% is an astonishing figure. Genocide is the crime of crimes. And to say in a community in which loyalty to Israel was a sine qua non of being Jewish and who are saturated with propaganda.
Part of what I wanted to ask you about today was the extent to which the conflation that Israel has so successfully undertaken of Judaism and Zionism, Judaism and Israeli identity has surely massively harmed the Jewish community.
I don't really care if it harmed the Jewish community. There's a certain kind of narcissism about worrying about the Jewish community at this point. It's like sort of a German worrying about whether Nazism has harmed Germany's image.
Is that the parallel, though? Because Jews do experience anti-Semitism, and we do know that there is rise, like some of the
frankly, I'm very skeptical of that.
You don't think Jewish people experience anti-Semitism today?
I would say that there are issues arising. However, when you sit down and you read the detailed reports, for example, the claims about a sharp rise of anti-Semitism on college campuses, that was the focus of the claim the last 2 years. When you read the actual reports, and there have been reports at Columbia University, at Harvard University. I sat down and read them. There's just no evidence.
But we've seen attacks on synagogues. We've seen far-right groups.
Yes, there has.
Clearly targeting.
There have been attacks. I would say, would I consider them at this point, would I consider them significant? I would say no.